1-minute reviews. What's it all about? If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll have noticed I've put up many 1-minute reviews. Hello, my name is Jim. Welcome to my channel, Books, Reading and Stuff. You'll have noticed with the 1-minute reviews I don't do this because it takes up some time and my time is limited to 1 minute to talk about a book. So how did it start, these 1-minute reviews? It started last August when I was in Pasanari in Georgia. I was on holiday, but I was bored, so I decided to put out some videos. But I didn't have my camera, I just had my phone, so I just reviewed Sarah Paretsky's Deadland quickly in 1 minute for a review to put on my channel. That's where it started. Since then, I've put out another 70 1-minute reviews. So why am I putting out 1-minute reviews, so many of them? On this corner of BookTube, people are usually putting out wrap-ups at the end of the month to tell you about all the books they've read in the month, or they might put out a long review about a particular book. Is it for views? No. The average views for these 1-minute reviews is about 50 views, and the average views for my normal video content is about 80 views, so it's less. And watch time is much less, because with a 1-minute video, you're not going to watch for very long. Even if you watch the full video, it's still only 1 minute, whereas if you watch a 10-minute video for 2 minutes, it's more watch time. The AVD, average view duration, is high. The 1-minute videos get between 50 and 70% usually, sometimes even higher than 70% of average watch time duration. This video here is normal video, will probably get 20 to 30%. I'm doing these because after doing Deadland by Sarah Paretsky and returning, I found I enjoyed it. I like the challenge of trying to condense everything I want to say about a book into just 1 minute. When I read a book, if it's a physical book, I'll make notes in my book journal. I have a page for each day. I might also make notes of books I've downloaded for Kindle. If it's on Kindle, then I can highlight on the Kindle device and make notes on there. When I finish the book, I'll make a note in my notebook where I record all the books I've read, the date finished, the title, the author, the page count, the genre, and my rating out of 5. The ones with the green spot are ones that I give a 1-minute review to, or I've given a 1-minute review to. I will then put the rating on Goodreads. I use Goodreads to track my reading as well as the notebook. And usually after a couple of days I'll leave a review. And if I'm going to do a 1-minute review, the review on Goodreads helps inform the 1-minute review about what I'm going to say in 1 minute. Sometimes I write a lot more than could be said in 1 minute, so I have to condense what I want to say about the book. I don't leave 1-minute reviews about every book I read. The Catcher in the Rye, I was rereading to see how I felt about the book now. When I read it as a teen, I hated it. Now I like it. And the video about The Catcher in the Rye was about how my tastes have changed over the years. It wasn't for a 1-minute review. And other books, some will not be suitable for 1-minute reviews. Some books, like The Yellow Wallpaper, are too small. I might do a review of a collection of short stories, but not just a single short story. It's difficult to talk about a short story for a lengthy period of time without spoiling the story. Some books are too big. I did a long video review of Anna Karenina. There's the famous joke by Woody Allen. He says, "I took a speed reading course and read War and Peace in 20 minutes. It involves Russia." The editing on my 1-minute videos is very minimal. I'll put up an image of a sound timer, as well as having the physical sound timer here. Then I'll put up an image of the book if it's a book I've read digitally, unless if it's a book I've read physically, I'll just hold up the physical book. And at the end I'll put up some stars for the star rating. You know I like stuff, I have lots of stuff as well as books behind me. I have a lot of these sand timers. This one was my favourite, the green one, but it fell on the floor and broke. And I also have other stuff for June on the Range. I could have a cowboy here. For March of the Mammoths, I could have a mammoth. For a fantasy book, I got a wizard here. And my next 1 minute review I plan to do with Meg. So I've got this big shark. And for Tramcar 015, I had this tramcar that I put a 015 on, as you can see. I also have a 30-second timer, because I had the idea of doing 1 minute, 1.5 minute videos, but I just did that with one video. I didn't like the idea and went back to 1 minute. And I got lots of cars, so I could have a James Bond Aston Martin. I'm aware this is a very self-indulgent video. Now I'll be looking at the rankings by view count of my 1 minute reviews. The lower ones on the list are the ones usually that I put out most recently. You can see number 70 in the list is The Opium Lord's Daughter by Robert Wang. I put that out yesterday. It's the 71st video I put out. The 71 is in brackets and it's had 24 views. It's not quite the lowest. The lowest is Expatriate, which I put out way back in April, and it's only had 23 views. That's the minimum amount of views these reviews get. Also, you'll see Tomorrow and Tomorrow twice. One of the Tomorrow and Tomorrows has been Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow has been highlighted in yellow. That's because I put it out as a short. Most of these I put out in the landscape format, like a normal video. And I did ask on a poll whether you prefer shorts or landscape, and the poll results show you prefer this landscape format, so that's how I put out most of my videos. But I have found with the shorts they get more views, although less average view time, so it's swings and roundabouts. 51 to 60, you'll see at 55 is Paul's Gold. This was the video I made a 1.5 minute review. It was a long book, it was 750 pages, so I thought it needed more than a minute review, but I didn't like that format, so I've only done that once. There's also 2 books highlighted in light blue and cyan, A Sunlit Weapon by Jacqueline Winspear and The Hanging at the Hollow Tree by Sarah M. Stevens. These are just among the first 10 books I reviewed. They should be much higher in the rankings, but not a lot of people are interested in seeing my reviews of these books. 41 to 50, you see 47, Fabled Passages by Margaret Pinard, highlighted in magenta. Margaret Pinard is a booktuber. I like reading books by fellow booktubers, and I read Margaret Pinard's Fabled Passages. I've read other books by her as well, like The Keening. At 50, Caravans in the Dark. Lost me 1 subscriber. I don't know why. Dark Game by Rachel Lynch is highlighted in yellow because I put that one out as a short. 31 to 40, see Jamaica Inn at 61 views. This is my favourite book I've read of the year so far, but the view count doesn't reflect which ones are my favourites, which ones are not. I read this with the FOMO book club. Also from the FOMO book club was Goodnight Mr. Tom, which I really enjoyed, and this got me 3 extra subscribers, so I enjoyed that part as well. You see Forest of Memories by Nato Kipiani, which I've shown here. It's highlighted in green. This is because it's a Georgian writer. She writes in English, and I don't know anybody else who has reviewed this book so far. I'm the first person to have reviewed it on Goodreads, and I am aware it's not available at the moment on Amazon, so it's only available locally here in Georgia as far as I know. 11 to 20 at number 18, you see Deadland. This was the first 1 minute review I put out. It's had over a year to get those 92 views. There's also Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks, who's a booktuber, and The Pearl in Decline by Pei Veo, which was in my top 3 books that I read last year. And now we have the very colourful top 10. Iggy at number 9, highlighted in green, is another Georgian writer. Gemma Alice, this one's been translated into English from the original Georgian. You also see 3 books highlighted in yellow. These are the shorts, and shorts seem to be doing very well. Song of Achilles is, I've only had it out for about a month, the review, and it's already got 284 views. There's also Bleak House by Charles Dickens, and there's Poking Holes by Juan Valencia. Juan Valencia is another booktuber, and Poking Holes is the most disturbing book I've ever read. But it's very well written, but it comes with all the trigger warnings. And number 1, Nights of Plague by Orhan Pamuk. I didn't really like this book. I just gave it 3 stars. It felt like a dry history book, and it was supposed to be a novel about a fictitious island that experiences the plague around the time of the First World War. Orhan Pamuk, I like some of his books. He's a Nobel laureate, and this video had 375 views, which is very impressive compared to the rest. But even at 375 views, the watch time is still quite small because it's just a 1-minute video. Thank you for letting me indulge myself. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. You can also like this video. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm. I'll also put some information about the 1-minute reviews and some links in the description. And I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.